Hint number 4, breathing. Breathing is a silver bullet. The mammalian brain is the next place that information moves through your sensory organs, moves through your nerves, moves through your spinal column, past your reptilian brain, and then it moves to your mammalian brain. Your mammalian brain does many things along the line of what other mammals do. Dogs, cats, horses, rats, all have similar mammalian brain characteristics. One of those characteristics is memory. Another one of those characteristics is emotions, or they have a limbic system in place. Another one of those is they're community or they're group oriented. We really want to talk about the limbic system especially, or the emotional part of the brain. So when you get a stimulus and your reptilian brain says that you're in danger or that you're in some kind of physical danger, your emotional or limbic system kicks in. There are 4 major emotions: mad, sad, glad, and afraid. Each one of these is connected to a hormonal cocktail that flows into your body depending on the depth of the response, all the way from a level 10 where you completely are out of control, all the way down to a minor trickle where you just feel physically different. The 2 major categories of hormones are stress hormones and peace hormones. Stress hormones are cortisol and adrenaline or epinephrine, and the peace hormones are dopamine and serotonin. Each have their difficulties or their challenges. We're mainly going to talk about the stress hormones, which are cortisol and adrenaline. When cortisol and adrenaline are dropped into your body, into your physiology, every human being has the exact same response. Their blood pressure changes, their heart rate changes, their level of digestion changes, their immune system changes, and all these not to the benefit of a human being, only to the moment. These are designed for short-term blasts where we are in a protective model and then they're supposed to go away. But again, as mentioned earlier, when you're in a long-term stressful situation like the chaotic world we're in, long-term exposure to these stress hormones has a negative effect on you. So what we're trying to do is, in a controlled way, change the effect that these have. Slow down the cascade of stress chemicals that are being dropped into your body. The way we're going to stop these from dropping into our body is we're going to control a muscle that we have control over, which is our diaphragm. The diaphragm, which is for your breathing, is right below your lungs, and that actually indicates how much stress you're in. If you're under a lot of stress, the actual diaphragm is tight and it doesn't move very much. So you get shallow breathing and you get quick breathing. So to stop the flow of stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, what we want to do is we want to take long, deep breaths. The best way to breathe is what's called circular breathing. Circular breathing is where you breathe in through your nose and you hold, and then you breathe out through your mouth. These each have a purpose. Breathing in through your nose, breathe air in through your sinuses. In your sinuses, there's a chemical called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide actually stops or slows down the negative effects of heart rate and blood pressure. So when you breathe in through your nose and take a deep breath, you're now bringing nitric oxide in, which changes blood pressure, and it also changes heart rate. Holding your breath in between actually activates your diaphragm, which actually tells your brain, it talks to your brain and says, calm down, we're fine, you don't need to worry. Breathing out through your mouth does exactly the same thing. So what it does is it communicates to your brain that you're in control, you're getting enough oxygen, and oxygen is flowing, and so you can calm down and not be as excitable, less stress hormones, less adrenaline, better health. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Annie Kornjack. I'm a human resources professional, and my skill is breathing. I use breathing daily to refocus, recenter, and energize myself, especially before or after a difficult conversation. Focusing on my breath allows me to be more in touch with my body and feelings. I'm super thankful for the breathing skill and the peace it has brought to my mind and body. Practicing breathing has given me a gift of listening to my body and mind, which allows me to be more present with myself and others. Super needed in this time.
I'm Starla Wadena. I'm a mother of 6 children. I use a breathing technique when I'm feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or if there's a lot of things on my plate that I need to get done and have a lot of anxiety. I'll take a minute and just simply breathe. Allows me to let go of that stress, recollect my thoughts, and kind of just remind myself that everything's going to be okay and got this.
Thank you for watching the video. My greatest hope is that by watching this, you either change your mindset or your intention or your practice. In this chaotic world, one of the things that brings back hope and help is a concept of bringing back control. And control comes back in little pieces. So through practice and rituals, you can regain control and regain energy. When we are fatigued and we are exhausted, one of the things we forget is where we do have control and where we do have power. Control and power comes through how we express the energy we have in our life. It also comes through how we change the rituals and the routines that we're practicing. Through watching this video, I hope you found a way to change your mindset and your outcomes and found a better and healing place to find energy. If you have any more questions, you're welcome to go to kairosSEI.com, where you can find more resources and more information on our website. Thank you.